Hello, beautiful, vibrant souls. I'm so glad we could join together today. We're going to pull some cards for the collective. I have asked my cards to focus in on love and relationships. So some of these messages may be for those who are single. Some of them will be for those who are in committed relationships. Some of those are going to be for people who are having difficulties in relationships. I have no idea what's going to come up. You're going to take what resonates. If it makes sense to you, if it feels like something that will benefit your life and situation, then that's what it's meant for. So what we have here, it's really always very interesting to me when I come up with a love relationship and a lover's card comes up. So let's talk about these cards. First, our Six of Cups, our pleasure. There's so much to be appreciated and to enjoy. And the focus on this card is about recognizing the little things. It's about paying attention to the everyday things, not just on big days like Valentine's Day. It's about recognizing the everyday expressions of love that the people in your life show you. And it doesn't matter if you're in a relationship or it's just the people that are around you. People show their love in different ways. So people talk a lot about love language. Love language is the type of love that you are most aware of, not the only type of way that you can receive love. It's the type of love that you have become conditioned to be most conscious of when it's delivered to you. But what I like to talk about is how we learn to accept and appreciate all the love languages so we don't miss out on the things that people are doing for us. For example, some of the people that I love the most in my life happen to be Leos. Now, Leo men are, if you love them and you've been in a relationship with them, you know that they will, on occasion, do big expressions of love, but it's usually not verbal and it's not necessarily super affectionate in the ways that we're used to. However, they are very good at picking up on little details about you. They see when you struggle with something. They see when you are forgetful in a certain area. They see when there's something particular that you like. So if you got a coffee the other day and you commented on this coffee and said, oh, they put just the right amount of hazelnut syrup in this, they're going to take stock of that. And down the road, they may even be checking in. What's the right amount of hazelnut syrup for them? And you won't know it. They will check up on you. They will make sure that you're okay when you are not expecting it, when you don't think that they're around, when you don't think that they're paying attention, so that they can show their love in a much more understated way. They like to perform acts of service. That might not be the type of expressive love that you're used to. You might think that they need to tell everybody about their love for you and show you off. And they might not be ready for that yet. They may struggle with communication. So if your partner is at times um, frustrating to you because they're not necessarily showing you love, let's pay attention to how they express their love. Do they do it in other ways? Because chances are they have made a point to demonstrate love for you in the ways that they feel love, that they experience love themselves. And in their past, perhaps they haven't had good examples of this. So, the best thing that we can do for our lovers, we've got our Seven of Wands card, our Valor, is to stand up and be very, very direct and let them know, I appreciate the way that you love me. Now, there are times that I may want you to love me differently, but this has never changed who we are and how we are together. You have always made an effort to demonstrate that to me. You have always shown me how proud you are. You have always stood up for me. You have defended me when I am not in the room. You have done the little things. You have done the work. And it is such a great experience to be loved and appreciated by you. We want to express this to them. We want to share this with them because that's going to guarantee that they're going to continue paying attention. Feeling heard and seen in the ways that you love and express love is one of the greatest feelings in the world. It's not just about being loved, but knowing that your love is being received by someone when you're expressing it to them. And not everybody is going to be good at using their words. Sometimes they use their actions. Sometimes it's text me when you get home. Did you eat today? I noticed that you were running low on laundry detergent, so I picked some up for you. I got your tires rotated this week. There's so many different ways that people in our life show us love. Take some time today to tell them that you appreciate it, that it means a lot to you. Be that person that stands up and says, we don't talk about these things a lot, but I just want you to know that. And I want you to list the things that are so important to you about that person. Let them know that you see them and you feel them and you appreciate them for all the little things, not just on this day, but the ways that they show you they love you every single day. We're standing up and letting them know. Our lovers card is about people that complement each other. They're not going to be just like you. They're not supposed to be. You're supposed to help each other learn how to be better people. You're supposed to share and express things in your own way and know that that other person may not have experienced that before, but they are learning from it and they are growing from it and they are expanding their ideas about what love is and how to express it because of you. And they're going to get better at it. And you know that and you share that and you continue sharing with this person because the two of you working together as partners is what makes you both better people. It's that complementary energy, not necessarily that perfectly matched energy. A lot of people talk about matching energy, and that's just simply not necessarily how partners work. One of us might be really good at paying attention to details and dates and know every anniversary date, every doctor's appointment. Oh, it's time to get this handled. And one of us might be better at repairing things that are failing or expressing difficulty with these things before we realize, before they become a problem. They might be able to see in the future in other areas where you are not. We're about getting into this situation with another person where you're able to demonstrate the perspectives that exist and how that varying perspective doesn't actually mean that we're different or we're lacking. It's actually highlighting the areas that we are the same. It helps us see these areas that we just aren't as good at, but we can improve upon them by having this experience with this other person in this world. So, whether you're single, whether you are madly in love with a partner, whether you're celibate, regardless of the situation, the people around you share and express love in a variety of ways. And that is for us to gain perspective and to learn about each other. And by that, we learn about ourselves. We learn about the things that matter to us personally, things that are important to us. And that alone is going to improve your life. You're going to be more aware and you're going to be more conscious and you're going to be more present. And we have our freedom, horse spirit, and our protection card. So we feel so much more secure with ourselves when we feel as though we have the ability to make the choices that we want. There's something very stabilizing about knowing that people will be by your side and care for you, and that regardless of where you go and what you do, if you feel like you're in a situation where you are not being loved and appreciated, and you say, okay, I have to leave this environment, you can go anywhere in the world and there's going to be people that support you and love you. They're going to make sure that you're okay. They're going to do whatever it takes to continue to express that appreciation and that joy and the value that they hold with you, because they want you to do what makes you happy. That's real love. Real love is, I care about you so much that whatever you need to do for you is not going to change how I feel about you. Even if that means that you have to not be in the same area that I'm in the same space. Or maybe it means that I have to pick up and move behind you because you move across the country and it's what makes you happy and it's what you needed. And I want to be with you. There is something that is so much more secure about having the ability to choose for yourself, knowing that they are going to appreciate and love you and want to be in your life regardless of the changes that occur for you. Maybe you used to really, really, really have a love for working out in the gym, and you absolutely loved it, and that's where they met you, and that was the foundation of your relationship. But after so many years, something about that energy and that space just changed for you, and you became more focused on doing your own thing for your exercise out in nature. That's how your passion changed. And you did that, and they, even though they loved working out in the gym with you, they still are willing to send you on that trip out in the mountains with your support group and your friends, and they say, have a great time. I'm so glad that you get an opportunity to experience this. That feels so secure and so stable when somebody can see you change and grow throughout time and still love you in the way that you deserve to be loved. I read an article where a couple was talking about how they reevaluated their relationship every 10 years, because every 10 years they were different people, and they had to reestablish whether or not we still feel the same way about each other. Are our goals still as aligned as they were? Because in 10 years, you should be a different person. You should have grown and learned and changed, and there's probably going to be a lot of things that are the same about you, and that's probably more than enough for your partner to still continually love you. But that doesn't mean that things will still be in the best interest for you to remain in that type of relationship. No, if you are solo, single, celibate, you know that 10 years ago, what made you feel affection or feel interested in a person has probably changed a lot. You don't necessarily think the same way about people. You don't look at the man that with a cool car and go, "Oh yeah, that shows that he's successful." Now you go, "Yeah, but how much debt does he has he accumulated with that?" Yeah, the nice car is cool, but what I want to know is, what kind of a retirement plan does he have? Or how does he keep his personal space? Because maybe he's got this cool car and he makes it look really nice, but then you walk into his house and as one experience I can remember from my teenage years, this man had he had a BMW, and he took me out to a fancy dinner, and I was like, wow, I was so impressed. And then we end up going back to his place to watch a movie, and I walk in the door, and I kid you not, there is easily 100 piles of dog poop on the floor from this little tiny, very tiny little dog that he has. He's like, "Well, I'm gone all the time." And I'm like, "Yeah, but this isn't one day's worth, sir." And I had to leave that environment, okay? Because I was like, "Oh, all of that appearance on the outside isn't the same, right?" I look back at that now, we're looking at uh almost 25 years ago. Yeah, no, I'm not impressed by a BMW anymore, because I know that man might live in a house full of dog poop. That means nothing to me. What I care about now is, how do you treat me? How do you treat other people? How do you treat people that are in service positions? How do you talk to the cashier at the 7-Eleven? That's what I want to know. Do you treat that person with the same amount of respect as you treat your peers? Because that's the kind of stuff that matters to me today. So, with our freedom card, the horse card, which is freedom is yours, and our protection card, what we're looking for is the type of relationships that can expand and grow and improve with time. Because we ourselves are expanding and growing and improving with time. As we get more refined in the ways that we see and experience the world, we're looking for a partner to be able to do that with us. So, whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship, this is a message for you to know that you should feel safe in that. And if you don't feel like that's something for you, if that's happening for you in your experience, then perhaps it is time for you to move to a new environment or be among other types of people. Just something to consider. Oh, I love this. So we have a happiness card. I am aware that being happy means that I'm on the right path. And we have our star family with our team of souls. If you need support, you should be able to call on support. And it's not, you don't need to know who those people are. You don't need to know who they are. What you need to know is that when you express that there are things that are not going well for you, that you have people show up and say, what will make things go better for you? We know that happiness isn't just something that can be afforded to you from the people around you, but they can provide the type of environment that allows you to feel supported in finding that for yourself. They don't want to make you happy. They want to provide the type of environment that encourages you to feel like you can safely explore and find what makes you happy. So if you're experiencing difficulties in your relationship and you don't feel secure in that relationship, you're not finding happiness in that relationship, you can reach out, and the people that care about you will say, if what you need to do is leave that relationship, I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to be your friend, because what's important to me is that you're happy, and you have to figure that out for yourself. I can't do that for you. But what I can do is I can be here when you need me. I can be here if you feel alone. I can be here if you feel like you need somebody to tell you it's okay. I can do that for you. But ultimately, it's your responsibility to find what is going to make you happy. And that goes for being in a relationship as well. Your partner is not responsible for making you happy. They're not. Your partner is responsible for providing an environment where you can both express your own needs for the things that do make you happy. Your partner should feel secure and stable enough that you can do what makes you happy, whether or not they want to be a part of it. And they know that this doesn't reflect on your choice to be with them. Maybe you love to go to comedy shows with your friends and they hate them. A secure relationship will look at you, and that partner will look at you and say, go have fun with your friends. I don't need to enjoy that. If it makes you happy, that's all I need to know, because you've chosen to be with me and I feel good about that. It also sometimes recognizes that there are situations where we have to allow our partner is not going to be the only fulfilling person we have in our lives. And being in a relationship where you become isolated and you become too dependent upon that one partner can be really damaging and scary. We need to be able to have people fulfill other roles in our lives. Your male or female partner or non-binary partner may not be verbally expressive, and you may need to verbally communicate. But you have a best friend, and you go spend time with that best friend, and you're able to use verbal communication to say and express all the things that are important for you. Perhaps you have a need to go spend time out in nature, and you enjoy this greatly, but your partner, kind of a city person, they don't really like bugs. They don't like mud. They don't like weather. They want to stay in this nice, controlled environment. There's nothing wrong with that. So as long as your partner says, go have fun. I know that you need to go out on these hikes. And I know that you have a friend that you love to go hiking with. Go hiking with that person. Relationships are going to have a Venn diagram of other people involved. Now, your partner may not share a love of that particular person, but if they love you and they know how important it is for you to have these experiences, they recognize that they don't have to love that person because that person loves you. You've chosen to be with them, and they respect and honor that relationship, and they only enjoy being your partner's friend and doing this enjoyable thing with you. That's an expression of a different kind of support system. It's a wider support system, and it allows you and your partner to share a specific intimacy without relying on them to be your one and only source of happiness and joy. Because when we do that, that becomes very much a burden. It can border into unhealthy areas like codependency and things like that, which we really want to avoid that. So I want to encourage you to make sure that you're on the same page with your partner about them not being responsible for your happiness, but that there are other people that play a role in what you enjoy in life, and they are supportive of you being happy in ways that your partner cannot necessarily provide. And that doesn't mean you love them less. It doesn't mean you don't want to be with them. But it is a larger network of individuals. It's a community of people that provide an environment for you to be happy. And when you have the right balance between all these people and your partner, that's when you know you're really in alignment. That's when you feel your best. When there is an expression of balance. And yes, you are responsible for this. You are responsible for making sure that you're in an environment where your partner honors and accepts and appreciates this about you, and that you do that for them as well. That means that yes, sometimes they might want to go hang out with their buddies at a sporting event and you don't want to be there. They might really, really enjoy going to the gym and you absolutely do not. You would rather stay home with a book. But as long as you are supportive of the things that make your partner finds joy in, and they are supportive of the things that you find joy in, you're going to find your relationship is really strong and long lasting. That's providing a whole community of love and support, which is a lot less burdensome on one individual person. Kind of borders on the idea of these poly relationships without necessarily involving the labels that some people feel the need to have. I think it's a really healthy way to talk about relationships with people, and that there's different types of love, and you don't necessarily need to label each relationship with some kind of title for it to be an expression and sharing of love and joy, and have it be just as important in your life as your primary partner that you go home to at night. So, just some things to think about. Thank you for joining me today on this journey. We've been talking about love and relationships, the expression of love from one to another, all different types of self love, and the things that we need to do to be happy and to provide the type of environment for our own happiness as well as our partner and the other people in our lives. So, Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time.